Thanks, Rob. Hey, JC, good to see you, man. You guys obviously stepped up to the challenge. Can you just speak to the job that Michael Dunn did last night, and then Kendall have to come in, and then I'm assuming you had met Blake Hance before the game, but Baker said you just met him right before kickoff. Can you just speak to the job that those three guys did under extraordinary circumstances?
Yeah, Mike's been with us for the year now, and I can't be more proud of a guy to step in that environment and just play as well as he did. I mean, he played really well. Kendall, who's a veteran, stepped in and played really well as well. And then Blake comes in, and I give a lot of credit to him working hard this week, getting up on all of his calls, getting up on the plays, and the coaches taking the extra time after meetings to work with him, make sure he's ready to play, and steps in there and plays well too. So just great overall by everybody stepping in that type of environment to play that well.
So you guys have really embraced the next man up mentality because you had to this year. You ever been around a group that has done something like this?
Well, I think this year, the way it's gone, I think everybody's had to kind of live by that mindset of just being ready to play, being ready to perform with different circumstances and under unique preparation circumstances as well. So I think we've been ready for that, but a ton of credit to those guys to step in a playoff game and play at that high of a level.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Marla Ridenour is next.
Yeah, JC, I'm asking you this obviously because you can't believe everything you see on Twitter, but were there really people meeting the plane last night?
Yeah, there were a good sized group of Browns fans outside the fence as we landed.
Well, I mean, what was that? I mean, that's got to be kind of fun. I mean, I know it probably wasn't huge, but just what was the celebration like? FaceTiming the coach in the locker room, and just what was it like?
Extremely exciting times. I mean, we know what Browns fans have been through, and we can feel the excitement of the entire city. And then the guys in the locker room just extremely excited to continue to play football and continue to be alive, and continue to push forward. And this has been a great year for the Cleveland Browns, and we have more work to do. So it's just a really exciting time, and we're looking forward to getting even more guys back to be in that locker room with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marla. We'll go to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, JC. How gratifying is it to win this? I mean, there's so many reasons, but I'm specifically going to ask you about with Joel missing the game to give him a crack at a playoff game by advancing.
Yeah. Again, winning these games at this time of year, this is what you put all that work, all that blood and sweat into all through training camp and the regular season to get to these moments. So I think I said it last week. I don't think anybody could be more motivated to play in a playoff game. That's what you work extremely hard to get to. But it's going to be really nice to get guys back, guys like Joel, guys like Coach Stefanski, to come in and be with us again and play and coach and just kind of unite the entire team again. So that's going to be really great.
Thanks, Nate. Jeff Shadell, you're up.
Hey, JC, when you were with the Packers, playoffs was kind of like just part of the regular season. So my question is, how different was that last night in that locker room celebrating a team that hasn't won a playoff game in a quarter century?
It wasn't much different. I mean, this is getting to the playoffs is hard. Winning playoff games is hard. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort by everybody involved. And as you keep winning and keep accomplishing goals, it's those moments in the locker room with the guys that have put it on the line with you day in and day out, week in and week out. Those are always special moments that you remember more so than the game, of just being with your teammates, being with your coaches, being with the staff, all of who have worked extremely hard to get to that point. Those are the special moments. It doesn't matter how long it's been or what playoff game it is. Each one of those are really special.
Thank you, Jeff. Scott Petrick, go to you.
Hey, JC, did you talk to Joel about what it was like watching the game from home? Coach Stefanski had some interesting thoughts on his experience.
I didn't talk to him about that. I called him after the game, after I'd left the locker room, just to chat with him. But we didn't talk about kind of his experience of watching the game. We more talked about the game itself, what he saw on the TV, and different things like that.
And, Kevin said he got a newfound appreciation for fans who have to watch with no control over anything going on. And I know you haven't missed a snap in years, but can you imagine what that must have felt like for him to go through that?
Yeah, I'm sure it was nerve-wracking, but I think you come out and our defense just played so well. Had takeaways and gave us short fields, and the offense took advantage of it. I think that had to be a great feeling to have the game start off that way. But I definitely understand the feeling of not being in total control or not really having any say on how the game was going to go, and truly being a fan is probably a real unique experience for a lot of guys who haven't been in that situation in a long, long time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Dan Lobby is next.
Hey, JC. You're one of the guys who was here back when Jarvis Landry got acquired. And I'm just curious, what has he kind of meant to sort of building this team's culture and kind of setting up where you guys are now?
A real veteran presence, real talented player, and just the more guys you have like that in the locker room, the better the entire team's going to be. A guy who competes, works hard every day. That's what you want out of guys like that. So him, as well as a bunch of other guys in the locker room that we've brought in recently, just add to the culture change and doing the right things and all that.
And just on the field, last night, a couple more big plays. It just seems like, when you guys need something, Baker looks Jarvis's way.
Yeah. He's extremely talented and reliable. And that's what you need. You need guys that in the crucial moments are going to step up and make big plays. And he's one of the guys we really rely on.
Thank you, Dan. Mary Kay Cabot has our next question.
Yeah, JC, can you just talk about the belief that you guys have that you really can beat anyone, and here you are in the tournament, and you guys, it just seems like you guys have so much confidence, and even though you're going to get another huge dose of you guys can't beat the Chiefs this week, it just seems like you guys don't think that way in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think expectations, they're all from the outside whenever you talk about that. And it just doesn't have any control, any meaning on what actually is going to happen. It's all projections, predictions, and it just doesn't impact us. We're focused on what we do, what the guys in that locker room and inside that building are capable of. So I don't think anybody gets too caught up in what other people are telling us we can or can't do. I think we're really confident in what we can do. We've played well this year, and we know if we go out there and play to the best of our abilities, we can compete with anybody. So I think it shouldn't impact anybody what people are saying from the outside. That shouldn't matter.
Jack Conklin last week said we want to bring a Super Bowl to the city of Cleveland. Ultimately, do you feel like that is in everyone's mind as you guys move forward?
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Thanks, Mary Kate. We'll take three more. Tony Grossi, Jake Trotter, Scott Petrick. Tony, go ahead.
JC, congratulations. Last week, you made a strong argument to eliminate off-season programs. Will you go after weekly practices now?
No, I think that my whole point is always to rely on the science and rely on what trainers and sports science and strength coaches have known for a long time. Practice is very important, both for an acclimation and making sure we keep our dosage of high-speed yardage and all that up for guys to avoid soft tissue injuries. So no, that won't be the next thing on my checklist.
But seriously, it was the cleanest game you guys have played all year. No mistakes, only 3 team penalties. I think only 1 on offense with all those offensive line things going on. How do you account for that?
Yeah, we played a really fundamentally sound game. And I think there are a lot of different ways to prepare. I think one of the most important things, especially this time of year, is having players that are healthy and feeling close to 100%. And you look at things glass half full last week. almost gave us a mini bye, an unscheduled mini bye where guys were able to get their body back after a long season. I know I felt coming back on Friday for practice, that was probably the best I've felt in a long time this late in the season. So, you feel fresh, you feel revitalized, and you go out there and play fast. And we took our meeting serious. We did our virtual walkthroughs. We did our virtual meetings, and I think everybody studied and prepared hard. And you can see that there are a lot of ways prepared to play a football game.
Thanks, Tony. Jake Trotter's next.
Hey, JC, like the shirt, by the way. You were talking about the culture change that has happened here in Cleveland. What do you attribute the self-confidence sort of almost unmatched at times that Baker has in terms of helping that culture change and getting you guys to the point you are now?
I think Baker's been that way probably since he was born. That's his personality. That's who he is. And that's who he is every day. And that's, as a leader of your team, that's a really great quality to have, because everybody begins to replicate the personality of the leader of the team. So the confidence and the swagger, it follows him, and guys mimic that. And that's why Baker's such a great leader for us.
When you kind of look back at his rookie year, things he said at the combine, draft me, I'll help turn the franchise around. What was your first impression of him, knowing that the Browns may, bring him in, and then also just when he got on the field from the very beginning?
Yeah, Baker's been the same guy since he arrived. And that's the thing about young players and leaders, is the way you become a leader of the locker room is be yourself. And there's a lot of different personalities that guys respect in this league. Really the only one that guys don't is someone that's not themselves, or is a phony, or is trying to be something they're not. So Baker, from the moment he walked in the building, was himself, was the same guy, and he's the same guy every day, not on game day. It's every day at practice. He's a competitor like that. He's working to get better. And that's what guys see and guys follow, are guys like that who are always the same guy every day.
Thanks, Jay. We'll go to Scott Petrick for a final question, then we'll bring Larry Ogunjobi into the room.
AJC, so when did you know it wasn't the same old Browns this season?
Again, I think you go out there and you play hard, and you start winning games. I think when we hang on to some games and you just stick with it, I think the games and teams itself, they move around and trend throughout the season. I think you can never define a team early on or midway through. You kind of come in segments, and a lot of teams break the season up in 4 quarters and kind of judge each quarter individually. And I think if you look at that, you see that we've been consistently the same team quarter after quarter of the season. And if you look at the individual games within those quarters, we've had games like that last night where we jumped out to big leads and held on. We've had games like the Cincinnati game where it didn't go our way, and we continue to fight, continue to battle and claw back. I think those are how you define a good team in this league. And the more and more examples you can put on film of that, the more confident you are of that is who you are.